camera, fabbrica, peperoni, grosso. Be careful when you use these words because even though they sound pretty similar, they actually do not have the same meaning in Italian and in English. These tricky words are called false friends and there's an endless list of them. That's why for today's videos I've picked 12 of them, which I've found relevant, funny, or that I've personally struggled with. I am Giada from FluentU Italian, and today we will talk about how, since Italian and English share roots, there are a lot of words in both languages that share a common Latin root. These words can be split up in two categories, cognates and false friends. Learning about these two can tremendously help you improve your Italian vocabulary. Cognates and false friends. So let's shed some light on this. First off, a cognate is a word that has a pretty similar spelling and the exact same meaning between two languages. For example, tavolo and table, or forchetta and fork, or even piatto and plate. They're not exactly the same, but close enough that the English speaker can remember the Italian equivalent. Cognates are your true friends when it comes to learning a second language. A false friend, on the other hand, makes learning a new language a bit more tricky. In fact, a false friend is a word that is spelled and pronounced in a similar way to a word in another language, but that has a totally different meaning. Therefore, you have to memorize what the false friends are in your target language to make sure you're not saying the wrong thing. To make things a little easier and more clear for you, I have divided the false friends that we will be looking at in 4 categories: nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. False noun friends. So, have you thought about which room of the house you'll start renovating first? Yes, we have, and we've decided to start with our camera first. Your camera? Well, I get a very confused expression because in Italian, la camera actually stands for room. And if we want to be even more precise and say bedroom, then we have to add da letto. So, la camera da letto. While camera in English means la macchina fotografica in Italian. Hey, I'm about to go to the library and buy this new sci-fi book I've heard amazing things about. Do you want one as well? Oh, wow. When did libraries actually start selling books and not just lending you them? I don't know. I'll ask them when I get there. I'm pretty sure that when she'll get there, they'll tell her that she's in the wrong place because what she's actually looking for is a bookstore, which is the translation of la libreria in Italian. But if we want to refer to the library, we need to say la biblioteca, and that's where you will be actually able to borrow books for free. So how's your brother liking his new job? Oh, he loves it. He told me that in the factory he works for, there are so many beautiful animals and the factory is surrounded by green fields all over. For real? That's a first. I've never heard of a factory having all those animals. And that's because she didn't mean to say factory, but farm. This false friend is very tricky because la fattoria sounds a lot like factory, but it actually means farm. On the other hand, to refer to the word factory, we use the word la fabbrica in Italian. I forgot to tell you that I saw your dad driving his work truck into Amazon's magazine yesterday. He saw me and waved at me. Oh, really? Does Amazon have its own magazine now? The truth is that Amazon doesn't, and what she wanted to say is that she saw her friends that pulling into Amazon's warehouse where they store everything. Instead, she used the word magazine because it sounds a lot like the Italian il magazzino, the warehouse, while the magazine is il giornale, la rivista in Italian. Let's see if you've been following me by doing a little quiz. Pretending that your friend was a big animal lover and wanted to spend a day surrounded by nature, where would you take her or him? La fabbrica or la fattoria? This one was easy, right? It was la fattoria. So, lo or la porteresti in una fattoria. You would take him or her to a farm. So, have you decided on the argument of your final thesis? Well, I have decided the relator that will actually help me write it, but that I know of, nobody has argued. Oh yeah, I meant topic. I'm sorry. See, this is exactly why I suggest you stay a little longer with me because, for example, argument in Italian means la discussione, il litigio, while the right translation of the false friend, l'argomento, is the topic, the subject in English. Knowing this and many more false friends will save you from finding yourself in awkward situations just like this one. Hey Jada, how's your trip to Italy? Hey Lucy, it was great, thanks. We finally got to see all of my family again, and for the first time ever, we went and visited the Barilla Pasta Fabric. I know that it might sound crazy since I'm Italian, but that's something I never did before. Wait a second, I don't think you meant Barilla Pasta Fabric, did you? Let me answer this for you. No, she didn't. What she was trying to say is that they went and visited the Barilla Pasta's factory and not fabric. The confusion comes from the fact that factory in Italian means la fabbrica, so pretty close to fabric, which is actually il tessuto in the Italian vocabulary. Do you want to see how this specific word is used by Italian native speakers? I'll show you right away. When using the FluentU platform, all you have to do is search for a word in Italian, tap on it, and you'll instantly see an image in context definition, example sentences, and other videos in which the word fabbrica, for example, is used. This way, you'll know exactly what it means and you won't fall into his trap again. If you want to be extra careful, you can by creating a new set of flashcards, name it Italian English Fall Friends, for example, and revise all these words later on. Hey, so we're ordering pizza for tonight. Which kind do you want? I'll do a pepperoni pizza. I like green ones, yellow, or red. So whatever they have is fine. I don't know what kind of pepperoni you guys have in Italy, but here they're just red. Well, I'm sure they are because they are talking about two different things. In Italian, we use the word I peperoni to refer to bell peppers, which can actually be of different colors. But pepperoni in this case is il salamino piccante. Make sure to write this down before you order the wrong pizza. After being in the US for a while, I have noticed how people are always so nice here. They always say hi, hello, how are you? It seems like they've received a pretty good education. Well, I've lived here my whole life, and yes, I agree, but you'll also find rude people like everywhere else. But still, I don't think that education has anything to do with that. And she's right, because education is the wrong word to use in this case because of the context we are in. In fact, what the Italian girl was probably trying to say was upbringing or manners, the way somebody is raised, which in Italian is l'educazione. On the other hand, the education means something totally different, that is l'istruzione in Italian, so your school career or curriculum. So, who from your family is coming to visit you from Italy? Well, last time only my mom and dad came, while this time all of my parents are coming. So, my brother, some of my aunts, uncles, it's gonna be a lot of us. Oh, so do you have two other different parents? Here, the situation gets very confusing. In fact, if you have, besides your parents, some other people that you consider as a second mom or as a second dad, you might want to use the word parents, which corresponds to the Italian I genitori and not to I parenti. In this situation, she was trying to use the word relatives, so I parenti and not parents. But since the two are so similar in Italian and English, she trusted her false friends, which she shouldn't have. False adverbs friends. Hey, what do you have planned for today? Nothing special, to be honest. Today's my day off, so I'll just clean around the house and maybe run some errands into town. What about you? I only work half a day today, so I was thinking of maybe just going into town and doing some shopping before I go on holiday next week. If you want, we can eventually go together. Yeah, sure. But I can't later tonight because I have plans for dinner. Do you want to avoid missing out on a girl's day out shopping just because you and your friend had some communication issues? Well, then don't use the word eventually like she did. Eventually stands for alla fine in Italian, and that's why the American girl understood that her friends wanted to go shopping late that day. What she was trying to say was possibly, perhaps, which is eventualmente in the Italian vocabulary. Do you remember that beautiful dress that Alice had on for her son's birthday party? Yes, I remember. I loved it too. I went to the shop that she told me she got it from, and they said that actually the dress is not available. So, are you saying that it's not even going to be restocked? Actually is our false friend in this situation. Actually doesn't mean attualmente like she taught, but it means in realtà. So to express the fact that the dress is not available at the moment, she should have used the word currently, which is the equivalent of the Italian attualmente. Here I am, putting you to the test to make sure that these false friends really get into your head. What would you say to mean that at the moment, right now, you're learning Italian? Attualmente sto imparando l'italiano. Or in realtà sto imparando l'italiano. I think you got it right. It's the first option. In fact, like we said before, attualmente means currently. Are you still dancing professionally? I wish I was, but I had a really bad knee injury a couple months back and I'm done with it. Definitely. Don't say that. Maybe you can make very good progress and still do it. Even finding yourself in a situation like this one would be awkward. In fact, the Italian girl is telling her friend how she got hurt very bad and that she will never be able to compete at a professional level ever again. To express this, she uses the word definitely, which is wrong because she should have used the term for good permanently, so definitivamente in Italian. On the other hand, definitely is decisamente in Italian, which if used in a context like this one, for example, doesn't express the same thing. Now that you've found out what the false friends are in English and Italian, all there's left to do for you is to practice them as much as you can. I suggest you get your hands on the free FluentU PDF that we've created just for you. Then you should definitely download the FluentU app, start your 14 days free trial right now and see it for yourself. Trust me, you'll wish you had done it before.